The night sky over Earth was calm, peaceful, and ordinary. People slept in their homes, children dreamed, soldiers guarded borders, and scientists studied screens that showed nothing unusual. But then, without warning, everything changed. A bright light tore across the darkness like a crack in the universe itself. At first, people thought it was a meteor. Then they thought it was a satellite falling. But soon, the truth became impossible to ignore. The lights were not falling. They were slowing down. Something was arriving. Far above the clouds, massive shapes pushed out of the darkness. They were alien ships, bigger than anything humans had ever imagined. Their size was so huge that they blocked stars behind them. Some were long like floating swords. Others were round like giant metal planets. And all of them moved with silent, perfect control. Across Earth, alarms started to ring. Space agencies, military bases, and observatories lit up with warnings. Governments connected to one another in panic. No country could deny what they were seeing. This was first contact. But this was not peaceful contact. This was an arrival without permission. As the ships entered orbit, they formed a pattern. It looked like a cage around Earth. Every nation understood the message. Earth was no longer alone, and Earth was no longer free. Inside the United Nations Command Center, screens flashed with new data. A young scientist named Dr. Lena Patel stared at the numbers in disbelief. She whispered, "These ships, they have weapons. Very powerful weapons." A general standing behind her clenched his jaw. "Do they plan to attack?" he asked. Lena shook her head slowly. "No. They are positioning. They want control without firing." Outside, people gathered in streets, looking up at the sky. Some prayed. Some cried. Some streamed videos, pointing their phones upward as the alien ships glowed like ghostly giants. Then it happened. A huge beam of blue light shot down from the largest ship. It struck the sky above the Pacific Ocean, creating a shimmering circle of energy. The circle expanded until it was big enough to be seen from space. It was a communication gate. A voice came through every device, every radio, every screen. It was calm. Too calm. "People of Earth. We come in peace. We come with great honor. We come to offer you a place among the stars." The words sounded friendly, but the tone felt wrong, almost rehearsed, like someone was reading a script they were forced to speak. Still, the message spread excitement and fear around the world. An alien alliance? A place among the stars? People argued in homes and streets. Was this a blessing or a trap? Inside the UN Center, the voice continued, "We offer a grand alliance. Together, we will share technology, medicine, energy, and the secrets of the universe. Humanity will rise to new heights." But the scientists noticed something strange. As the voice spoke, the alien ships moved again. This time, their weapons were not powering down, they were powering up. Slowly. Quietly. Almost hidden. A military officer shouted, "They're aiming at major cities." Everyone panicked. But the weapons did not fire. They just waited. The alien spoke again. "Accept our offer, and you will be safe. Reject it, and you will face great danger." That was the moment when humanity realized the truth. This was not an invitation. It was a demand. The President of the United Nations Security Council stepped forward to the communication screen. "Why have you come without warning?" he asked. "Why do you surround our planet with weapons if you come in peace?" There was a long silence. The alien voice returned, softer but colder. "Your world is important. You are stronger than you believe. Some in the galaxy fear you. Others want to use you. Only we can protect you. Only we can guide you." The room went silent as the weight of those words sank in. Why would advanced aliens fear humanity? Why would they want to guide humans? And why did their voices sound terrified beneath the calm surface? Meanwhile, in a secret space surveillance lab, an engineer named Marcus Reed saw something shocking. He zoomed in on the alien flagship and discovered hidden transmissions. Not from aliens to Earth, but from aliens to each other. The messages were encrypted, full of fear, and repeated urgently. Not again. We cannot fail. We must make them join us. They are coming. Marcus sent the data to the UN center immediately. When Lena read it, her face turned pale. These aliens, they're not here because they want us, she said softly. They're here because they need us. The general frowned. Need us for what? Lena swallowed hard. To fight something worse. Outside, people watched the sky as the alien ships glowed brighter and brighter. Children hugged their parents. Soldiers tightened their grips on their rifles. The world stood frozen under the shadow of giants. The alien voice returned one last time, now trembling. Humans of Earth, accept the Grand Alliance. You do not understand the danger that is coming. But humanity did understand one thing. Something was wrong. Deeply, dangerously wrong. And the real story had just begun. The alien ships stayed silent above Earth like giant metal shadows. Hours passed, but no one on Earth dared to make the next move. Nations waited for answers, scientists searched for clues, and ordinary people held their breath, staring at the sky that no longer felt like theirs. Inside the United Nations Command Center, Dr. Lena Patel and Marcus Reed stood over a glowing screen filled with alien signals. The encrypted messages kept repeating every few minutes. Fear. Warning. Pressure. It was clear these aliens were not calm, not confident, and not in control of their own mission. Marcus turned to Lena. If they're scared of something, why come to us? Why Earth? Lena did not answer. She was listening again to the alien transmissions, searching for deeper meaning. Suddenly she froze. Marcus, listen to this, she said, pointing at a line of alien text. This is a distress code. Their ships are requesting backup. Marcus blinked. Backup? Against what? We haven't even touched them. Lena whispered, which means they are not here as conquerors. They are here as survivors. Meanwhile, in the alien flagship, the atmosphere was tense. Their captain, a tall blue-skinned being named Valos, paced across the command deck. His crew watched him with terrified eyes. Their mission was simple, make humanity join the Grand Alliance, but the humans were not reacting the way other worlds had. One of the alien officers spoke in a shaking voice. Captain, the humans detected our distress signals. They know we are afraid. Valos closed his eyes. Then the timeline just shortened. They will not trust us now. Another officer whispered, what do we tell them? The truth? Valos hesitated. His hands trembled. The truth will cause panic. The truth may make them refuse. If they refuse, we will all die when they arrive. On Earth, the Security Council continued the communication with the aliens. The Council President asked again, why do you want this alliance? Why now? This time, the alien voice did not sound calm. It sounded tired. To protect you. To protect all of us. The President frowned. From what? A long pause. Then the alien finally said one word. Destroyers. The room went cold. Lena whispered, destroyers? What are those? But before anyone could ask more, the alien transmission suddenly cut off. The ship lights dimmed for a moment, like something had drained their power. On the alien deck, alarms flashed. Officers shouted warnings. Unknown energy wave detected. Shields weakening. They are scanning us. Valos shouted, block the scan. Do not let the humans see this. But the humans did see it. In a military satellite control room in Nevada, a young operator stared in horror at the data flooding her screen. "Sir," she whispered, "there's something huge in deep space. Moving fast. Heading toward us." The general leaned over. "How huge?" she whispered. "Bigger than their entire fleet." Back in the UN center, the information spread quickly. The aliens were not invaders, they were refugees. And something monstrous was chasing them across the galaxy. The council president faced Lena. "If these destroyers are real, why don't the aliens simply tell us everything?" Lena answered quietly, "Because they think the truth will make us say no. They want us to join because they believe we're the only species left strong enough to fight this." Marcus added, "And if we refuse, they fear we'll abandon them." Before anyone could respond, the alien voice returned. This time it was loud, desperate, and without the fake calm. "Humans of Earth. You must listen. We cannot hold them back alone." The president shouted, "Tell us the truth. What is coming?" The alien ambassador finally gave up hiding the fear that had been shaking their voices all day. "The destroyers wiped out 3 galaxies. They do not talk. They do not negotiate. They consume everything. They are hunting us now. They will arrive soon." Gasps filled the room. The president tried to remain calm. "Then you should have come with honesty." "We could not," the alien answered. "Every time we tell the full truth to a species, they flee, hide, or surrender themselves. Humans are different. Humans fight. That is why we need you." Marcus whispered, "They need us, because we don't run." Lena looked at the president. "Sir, rejecting them might push them to fight us. Accepting them might pull us into a war with something beyond imagination." The president was silent. Outside, the sky glowed brighter as alien ships powered up their shields. People in every country watched, confused and afraid, as the alien fleet seemed to prepare for war, not against Earth, but against something Earth could not yet see. Suddenly, a sharp alarm rang across the alien flagship. One officer cried out, "They found us. They are locking onto our position." Valos froze. Then he said in a broken voice, "The destroyers are coming." On Earth, the satellites captured a terrifying shape entering the outer edge of the solar system. It was dark, massive, and alive. Its long, spiked limbs folded and unfolded like a nightmare crawling through the stars. Marcus whispered the words everyone was thinking. "This is what they're running from." The alien voice echoed again, trembling with fear. "Humans, choose quickly. Join us, or stand alone. But know this, you are no longer hidden." The story was no longer about an alliance. It was now about survival. The news of the approaching destroyers spread across Earth faster than light. Every screen, every radio, every phone repeated the same terrifying message. A cosmic monster is coming. A creature bigger than fleets, older than civilizations. A thing that devours galaxies. People panicked. Some prayed. Some ran to shelters. Some froze in place, staring at the sky as if the darkness itself was about to open its mouth. But in the United Nations Command Center, there was no time for fear. Only decisions. Dr. Lena Patel stood beside Marcus Reed, watching the alien fleet's desperate maneuvers. Their ships moved in nervous patterns, forming protective walls, raising shields, and scanning the void. They looked less like conquerors and more like hunted animals. Marcus said quietly, "If they came here for help, why threaten us with weapons?" Lena shook her head. "Because they believe we only listen when we feel danger. They think fear will control us." Marcus frowned. "Then they truly do not understand humans." Before she could answer, the alien communication beam activated again. This time, the voice was not calm. It was breaking apart. Humans, please respond, the destroyers will reach your system soon. We cannot stop them alone. The council president stood in front of the screen. His voice was steady, though his hands trembled. If we join your alliance, what happens to Earth? A long silence followed. Then the alien answered in a whisper. Earth becomes the first battlefield. Everyone in the room froze. The president took a deep breath. So you want to use us? Use our home. Use our people as your shield. The alien voice sounded ashamed. Your world is strong. Your spirit is different. When you fight, you do not break. You become dangerous. The destroyers fear only one thing, unpredictable resistance. Marcus muttered, meaning, they fear us. Lena nodded slowly. To the destroyers, humanity is not weak. Humanity is unstable. Impossible to predict. That scares them. The president's voice hardened. Then why didn't you tell us the truth from the beginning? The alien ambassador finally answered honestly. Because every world we told the truth abandoned us. They ran. They hid. They surrendered to the destroyers hoping to survive. Humanity is the last species with enough spirit to fight. If you refused us, there would be no one left to stand against them. Everyone in the room went silent. It was a heavy truth. A truth no one asked for. A truth that changed everything. But fear is not the only thing humans feel in crisis. Humans also feel anger. The president finally said, we understand your fear. We understand your enemy. But we cannot join an alliance built on fear, manipulation, and half-truths. Marcus added, if we join, it must be as equals. Not as shields. Not as tools. The alien ambassador trembled. But, if you refuse, you will fight alone. The president's answer came like thunder. Then we fight alone. Silence. Pure, stunned silence. Aliens across the fleet froze in disbelief. No species had ever said those words. Not in thousands of years. Every species they approached either bowed or begged for mercy. But humanity did neither. On the flagship bridge, Captain Valos stared at the message in shock. They refused, humans refused. His officers panicked. What do we do now? They do not understand the danger. We must force them. No, Valos said quietly. You do not force humans. That is how you get destroyed. Meanwhile, on Earth, the president turned to the scientists and generals. We have one chance. Prepare defenses. Activate every satellite, every shield prototype, every hidden project. We must get ready. Marcus nodded and rushed to the engineering wing. Lena followed, her heart pounding. Do you really think we can fight something that destroyed galaxies? She asked. Marcus smiled faintly. Lena, humanity survives everything. Ice ages, plagues, wars, disasters. We adapt. We improvise. We surprise. If the destroyers think we will break, they have no idea who we are. Lena slowly smiled back. You're right. They have no idea. Across Earth, factories roared to life. Scientists worked without sleep. Engineers built new weapons using every scrap of alien information they could decode. Soldiers stood ready. Civilians helped in any way they could. Humanity was scared. But humanity was not broken. Then, something unexpected happened. A group of alien ships broke formation and descended toward Earth, not in attack mode, but with shields lowered. Their lights flashed in a coded pattern, we surrender. In the UN Center, the translation came through. Humans, teach us how to fight like you. We wish to stand with you. Not above you. Not ruling you. With you. More ships followed, sending the same message. Valos himself appeared on the main screen. His eyes were tired but honest. You rejected the Grand Alliance. So we offer a new one. One built on truth. One built on respect. One built on survival. Humanity, please let us stand beside you. The council president looked at him for a long moment. Then he said, if you stand with us as equals, then yes. Together, we fight. A new alliance was formed, not the aliens' Grand Alliance, but humanity's alliance. A human-led alliance. A stronger one. A real one. But before the celebration could begin, alarms echoed again. Marcus read the new data and whispered, Lena, they're here. Far beyond the moon, a dark shape filled the void. A living nightmare. Millions of spikes. Eyes that burned like stars dying. A mouth wide enough to swallow planets. The destroyers had arrived. Earth went silent. The universe held its breath. And humanity prepared to make history. The first destroyer entered the solar system like a living eclipse. It did not travel like ships. It crawled through space like a giant shadow with teeth, folding and unfolding its long, spiked limbs as if space was nothing more than soft cloth. Its arrival made every satellite shake. Every radar flicker. Every human heart stop. Marcus stood in the UN command center with Lena, staring at the enormous shape on the screen. No one spoke. No one even breathed. Lena whispered, how do we even fight something like that? Marcus answered quietly, by doing what we always do. We find a way. Outside, across the world, people gathered near windows and rooftops, watching as the stars dimmed behind a monstrous silhouette. Even animals felt the terror. Birds hid, dogs howled, oceans calmed as if waiting for something terrible. Then the destroyer opened its eyes. They were not eyes like any creature. They were like two dying suns, burning, angry, hungry. The alien fleet panicked. On the flagship, Captain Valos shouted commands. All ships, defensive line. Shields to maximum. Prepare to fire. But everyone knew their weapons were useless. The destroyers were not attacked. They consumed. Hundreds of alien ships fired beams of light, plasma, and energy. It didn't matter. The beams hit the destroyer's dark skin and vanished like drops falling into fire. Valos whispered, as expected, nothing. The destroyer responded. Its massive mouth opened, silent, slow, and a wave of black energy shot forward. Not fire. Not plasma. Something else. Something alive. The wave hit the alien ships and tore through their shields like paper. 15 alien cruisers disappeared in seconds. Not destroyed. Not exploded. Simply erased. Lena covered her mouth. Oh God. Marcus stared at the screen. This thing, it doesn't fight. It feeds. On Earth, the Council President spoke into the global broadcast system. This is humanity's darkest hour. But we will not run. We will not surrender. We will stand together. All nations, prepare for defense. Factories switched to emergency mode. Robots assembled missile platforms at full speed. Drones swarmed into the sky. Every country shared intelligence, weapons, satellites. Old enemies became allies in minutes. Humanity was finally united. In orbit, human-built rail cannons powered up, glowing bright blue. Earth was no longer helpless. Marcus turned to the engineering team. Start Project Ares. Now. Project Ares was humanity's secret experimental weapon, a hybrid of human engineering and stolen alien tech. It wasn't fully tested. It wasn't safe. But it was all they had. Lena ran the calculations. If this fails. Marcus finished for her. Then there won't be anyone left to regret it. In space, the destroyer continued moving forward, ignoring every attack like dust. Its huge limbs stretched toward the moon, as if claiming it. The alien ambassador contacted Earth again. His voice shook with fear. "Humans, we have never seen a species refuse the Grand Alliance. But now, you are the only hope for both our worlds. Tell us what you need." For the first time, humanity was giving orders to aliens. Not the other way around. The president responded, "Hold your formation. Do not break. We will attack from below." Valos nodded. "We stand with you." Suddenly, alarms rang again. A second destroyer appeared in deep space. Then a third. A fourth. A fifth. 5 shadows. 5 monsters. All heading toward Earth. Lena felt her legs weaken. "We can't fight 5. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "We don't need to destroy them. We only need to scare them." Lena blinked. "Scare them? How?" Marcus smiled with a mix of fear and genius. "By showing them what humans do when we refuse to die." He activated the Ares system. The lights across Earth flickered as the experimental weapon charged. It used electromagnetic fields, nuclear fusion, alien plasma tech, and human stubbornness, all mixed into something unpredictable. Something dangerous. Something human. In orbit, the hybrid cannon began to glow brighter than the sun. Valos saw it from the flagship. "What are they doing?" Marcus whispered, "They think humans are unstable. Let's prove them right." The destroyers sensed the rising energy. All 5 turned their burning eyes toward Earth at once. Every human heart dropped. The monsters opened their mouths, preparing a combined blast that could erase the moon, Earth, and everything between. Lena screamed, "Marcus! Fire now!" Marcus slammed his hand on the control pad. Earth fired. A beam exploded from the Ares cannon, white, blue, gold, and something else humans didn't even have a name for. It wasn't clean. It wasn't perfect. It was raw, violent, chaotic energy. It hit the first destroyer with impossible force. For the first time in centuries, a destroyer screamed. Space shook. Stars flickered. The monster recoiled, its body burning with strange flames. The other destroyers froze. They had never been hurt before. Never been challenged. Never been burned. Humanity had done the unthinkable. Valos whispered from his ship, they wounded a destroyer. The humans wounded a destroyer. The alien fleets erupted with hope. Lena stared at the screen, tears in her eyes. "We did it, we actually did it." But Marcus wasn't smiling. Because the destroyer stopped screaming. It turned its giant burning eyes toward Earth with pure rage. And then it roared. The sound didn't travel through air, it tore through gravity itself. Marcus whispered, "It's angry now." The other 4 destroyers opened their jaws, ready to fire together. Humanity had made history. But now, the real battle was coming. The first destroyer's roar shook space itself. The sound wasn't heard, it was felt, like pressure on every bone, every machine, every ship. Even the moon trembled. In the United Nations Command Center, people held on to desks and screens as the shockwave passed through the planet. Windows rattled. Lights flickered. Air vibrated like thunder trapped inside steel walls. Marcus steadied himself. "It's angry, and now they're all coming." 5 destroyers, all bigger than mountains, turned their burning eyes toward Earth. Their jaws opened, glowing with black energy, energy strong enough to swallow worlds. Lena whispered, "We hurt one, now we must survive all 5. Marcus didn't answer. His eyes were cold, focused, dangerous. He was thinking. Outside, the alien fleet panicked. Ships fell back. Shields cracked. Engines struggled to stay stable in the shaking void. Some alien officers wanted to run. Others wanted to hide behind Earth. But Captain Valos shouted, "Hold your line. If humanity can stand, so can we." The aliens had spent centuries fearing the destroyers. But now, for the first time, they felt something new. Hope. Below them, humanity prepared for the impossible. All around the world. Nuclear reactors pushed beyond safe levels. Secret experimental weapons were activated. Thousands of drones launched into the air. Railguns targeted the sky. People prayed, cried, or simply waited. Humanity was terrified. But humanity was ready. The Ares cannon glowed again. Its power level reached dangerous limits, so dangerous the engineering room shook like a storm was trapped inside it. Lena checked the readings. "Marcus, the cannon won't survive a second shot." Marcus nodded. "I know." Lena grabbed his arm. "And if the cannon explodes, Earth will too." Marcus whispered, "I know that too." Lena stared at him. "Then why are you so calm?" Marcus looked at the screen where the destroyers gathered their energy. "Because humans don't survive by being careful." He turned to the global comms system. "Activate Operation Phantom." Generals across Earth froze. Operation Phantom was considered impossible. Too risky. Too experimental. Too human. But the president trusted Marcus. "Do it," the president said. Every satellite around Earth suddenly shifted their positions. A huge network of mirrors, reflectors, and energy amplifiers moved like pieces of a giant puzzle. Lena gasped. "Marcus, you're going to bounce the Ares beam." Marcus nodded. "Across every satellite. Through every amplifier. Through the whole sky." Lena whispered, "It will turn the Earth's orbit into one giant weapon." Marcus smiled faintly. "Exactly." In space, the destroyers began charging their combined attack. Their mouths glowed brighter than suns. Black lightning crawled across their limbs. Captain Valos shouted into his fleet, "Brace. Their attack will hit in seconds." Back on Earth, Marcus placed his hand above the firing button. Lena whispered, "If this fails." Marcus replied softly, "Then at least we failed trying something impossible." The destroyer's jaws widened. Marcus closed his eyes. Fire. The Ares cannon unleashed its second and final shot. This beam was different. It wasn't clean. It wasn't steady. It was chaotic, wild, alive, like the soul of humanity itself. It hit the first satellite. The satellite exploded, but not before reflecting the beam to the next one. Then the next. And the next. The beam bounced across orbit like lightning dancing in space. Every reflection made it stronger. Brighter. More unpredictable. Aliens watched in shock as the sky filled with glowing lines of energy, forming a web around Earth. Valos whispered, They are weaponizing their own orbit." Lena watched with wide eyes. "Marcus, this is insane." Marcus whispered, "Yes. That's why it will work." The destroyers fired. A gigantic wave of black energy shot toward Earth, tearing through space like a world-ending tsunami. At the same moment, the final satellite reflected the amplified Ares beam straight toward the destroyers. Two impossible powers collided. Light and darkness crashed together. Space cracked. Time shook. Everything froze for a moment, like the universe itself was holding its breath. Then, a blinding explosion lit the solar system. Even the sun seemed dim in comparison. Aliens shielded their eyes. Humans fell to the ground. Screens burned white. When the light faded, everyone looked up. And they saw something they never thought possible. 3 destroyers were gone. Completely disintegrated. A fourth was burning, retreating, its limbs shaking as it fled into deep space. Only one destroyer remained. The biggest. The strongest. The leader. It glared at Earth with pure hatred. Lena whispered, "It survived." Marcus breathed heavily. "But it's afraid now." The surviving destroyer roared in fury and charged toward Earth at full speed. Its massive claws stretched forward, ready to tear the planet apart. Humanity had no weapons left. The Ares cannon was dead. The satellites were gone. Earth stood defenseless. Captain Valos looked at his officers. "We cannot let humanity fall. Not after what they have shown us." He gave the order no alien had ever given before. "All ships, ramming speed." The alien fleet roared as thousands of ships launched toward the destroyer. They fired everything. They slammed into its body. They tore pieces off with their own metal hulls. It wasn't enough to kill the destroyer. But it slowed it. Just enough. From Earth, one last thing rose into the sky. A single human-built ship. Small. Unimpressive. Carrying one engine. And one pilot. Marcus Reed. Lena screamed into the radio, "Marcus, don't. You'll die." Marcus replied with a calm voice. "Someone has to finish the story." He pushed the ship to full speed, heading straight toward the destroyer's burning eye. The monster opened its mouth. Marcus whispered, "Humanity says hello." And he fired the ship's core. A final explosion swallowed the destroyer in burning white light. When the fire cleared, the destroyer was gone. Floating debris glowed around the battlefield. Silence filled space. Earth had won. Humanity had risen. Lena fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The command center was silent. The aliens stood shocked. Everyone realized the truth. One human. One decision. Had saved the galaxy. Valos bowed his head. "We feared humanity. We were wrong. We should have trusted them." The council president whispered, "Humanity doesn't fight for power. Humanity fights for survival. For each other." For the next 1,000 years, every species would tell the story. The day Earth refused an alliance. The day humanity stood alone. And the day humanity saved the stars.